Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being out here on the east side on a great September day. Um, I'm thrilled to be here to announce the City of Detroit's latest round of federal funding that we've received. Today, we're here to talk about the $10 million that the City of Detroit has received in Safe Streets funding to go towards making Gratiot safer, as the latest of many federal funding opportunities that the city has received towards improving our infrastructure and transportation around the entire city. For me, this project is extremely important and impactful. As an East Side resident and parent, Gratiot is a corridor that I travel every single day. And for me, this is a corridor that there has been a lot of room for improvement, and that we're ready for investment to make the corridor a lot safer for all road users. If you look at all the infrastructure funding that the city has received over the last few years, we're very fortunate to have received $105 million for 375, $25 million for Michigan Avenue, $30 million for low and no emissions buses for DDOT, and this award marks $60 million in total going towards Safe Streets funding for making our streets a better place for all of our residents. The investment that we're going to see on Gratiot over the next 3 or 4 years is $10 million from the federal government and an additional $2.5 million provided by the state of Michigan in match funding. We're ecstatic to have great partners from the state, both from Michigan Department of Transportation and from the Michigan Infrastructure Office, that have been great partners along the way, not just on this Gratiot corridor, but on projects around the city that are going towards improving our transportation and infrastructure networks. I'm going to invite a few of my colleagues up here to speak, both from the state and from the community, to talk about the project and what it means for them. So I'm pleased to introduce my friend and colleague from the state of Michigan, Zach Kolodin with the Michigan Infrastructure Office.
Hi all, thanks so much for having me, and first of all, congratulations to the City of Detroit, to Sam and his whole team, to Mayor Duggan for this incredible award. Thank you to the Biden-Harris administration, both for the continued deployment of bipartisan infrastructure law dollars to make our communities safer, to improve the quality of our roads and shorten our commute times, and really to help us catch up on some of the deferred maintenance that had been piling up. As Sam said, this is the third major Safe Streets Award for Detroit, $60 million going right into this community. It's part of more than $99 million going into safe streets all across the state. And I think it goes to both the ambition and drive of Mayor Duggan to improve the quality of life for the citizens of Detroit, that we see so much of this money flowing to the city, and then also to all the folks across the state of Michigan that are building community safety plans, building action plans to reduce fatalities in their communities. And I commend them, and we want to partner with all of them. We want to partner with all of you across the state. The Michigan Infrastructure Office is specifically designed to augment community resources, to augment state resources, so that we can pull down the maximum amount of federal dollars. We were obviously delighted to offer this $2.2 million award of matching grants to help the city successfully execute this project. In any community that wants to execute a Safe Streets and Roads project, that has a safety action plan and wants to make it a reality, we are excited to work with you. We want to work with you. Please be in touch. I think this project really goes to the core values of the mayor, of the governor, of the Biden-Harris administration, to bring public safety to our communities. We've seen violence in this community go down significantly over the last few years, and we can't stop with interpersonal violence. We also need to bring we need to bring safety to our roads. A sense of security and a sense of belonging, and the ability to rely on your sort of community assets and to access them safely underlies all community vitality. And I think we will continue to see this entire Gratiot corridor improve its economic prospects, improve the quality of life, as we continue to see safety improvements. So I'm delighted that the mayor understands this, and I'm delighted that the Biden-Harris administration understands this, so that we can, actually build a road that enables community, that enables economic development, enables growth. Again, congrats to everyone here today. This is, further implementation of the mayor's vision and of the governor's vision for safer communities and better streets. And with that, I'll turn it over to Matt Galbraith to discuss MDOT's role.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Matt Galbraith. I'm the planning manager for MDOT's Metro region and also the project manager of a planning and environmental linkage study on Gratiot that we've been conducting over the last 15 or so months. Since my time with MDOT's Metro region, I've worked very closely with Sam and folks at the City of Detroit, focusing in on Gratiot and safety concerns that we've seen out here. And so big congrats to the city and all that have worked hard towards this. It's a remarkable achievement and hopefully more to come. At MDOT, transportation is no longer just infrastructure improvements. It's about how people use infrastructure to enhance their quality of life and economic opportunities. And this funding will ultimately help many safety improvements along Gratiot that ultimately reflect this commitment. The combination of teamwork, integrity, customer orientation will achieve community goals to make all forms of mobility a safe and reliable option on Gratiot. MDOT's planning for an improved Gratiot evaluated different options, opportunities to create a unified vision for the entire corridor. That planning and environmental linkage study that I had mentioned that's ongoing now and really near the end of it. It's ultimately going to create a long-term vision for the corridor, and safety's really, been at the core of this planning study and really at the core of the recommendations moving forward. So we're looking forward to continue the partnership that we have with the City of Detroit and, go after more discretionary and grant fundings as we move forward for that long-term vision. Not to take away from what we're celebrating today, because we need those short-term wins as well. And this is truly remarkable and a major achievement where we're going to see improvements on Gratiot, much sooner than what we'll see from the results of the Pell. So appreciate the opportunity and congrats again.
Thank you, Matt. So to talk a little bit more about what people should expect and what to know about the Gratiot corridor. So the Gratiot corridor is the unenviable position of being the most dangerous street within the city and largely within the entire state of Michigan. It's unfortunate that over the last 5 years, we've had more than 2,500 crashes, 1,200 injuries, and more than 40 fatalities, including more than 100 pedestrians and cyclists being hit from 8 Mile to downtown over the last 5 years. This grant money really seeks to change that. So what we're going to be doing, we plan to start implementing this project in 2026 with this funding. Our goal for this is to be able to, number one, slow speeds down. We know that the number one cause of crashes, fatalities, and serious injuries for all road users are people just driving too fast. You wouldn't know it from looking at it, but the speed limit on Gratiot is actually only 35 miles an hour. And our goal is to get a road design that gets people to adhere to that speed, that makes our job as public officials easier, both for designing the road and as well as enforcing it. Anytime when it comes to designing safer streets, we try to take a philosophy that really has 3 components: education, enforcement, and engineering. DPD can't do their job if we have designed a road that's designed for people to drive too fast. And so for us, we're really hoping that our road improvements have a direct result in driving down the crash rate and fatality rate on the corridor. Just last year, we started making these improvements in anticipation of this project. We added a parking lane and we added high visibility crosswalks and bus boxes that already started to drive down the crash rate and fatality rate pretty significantly. The Gratiot corridor is the third highest transit ridership corridor in the entire region as well, used by both DDOT and SMART. So road users of all types, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, a bus rider, or just someone driving on the corridor that's here to park, will see benefits from this project over the next few years. So with that, I am going to now invite up one of my colleagues from the city, Christina Peltier from our Complete Streets team, who's going to talk a little bit more about her team's role, as well as inviting up some of our local community members to talk about, their thoughts and opinions about what this project will do for the East Side community here. So, Christina?
So again, my name is Christina Peltier, Deputy Director of Complete Streets. We're really excited about this project. When we look at Complete Streets, we're looking safety for all users, pedestrians, bicycle users, those with visual impairments, and bus riders, which is a heavy usage, as you heard from Sam. So we'll be working really closely with the Michigan Department of Transportation on the design and a lot of community outreach. Special thanks to James Hanig, the former Deputy Director of Complete Streets, who applied for this grant with the Grant Office of Development and Grant Support. And just really excited for this project and to partner with the community and with our other partners. Thank you. I'm going to introduce Mr. Bobby Whetstone with the Jazz Cafe, Detroit Blues Cafe.
Hello, everyone. Bobby Whetstone. I own various businesses up and down Gratiot. I've been around for a while. I think the funding would be awesome. If we could slow down the traffic. A lot of our businesses can be acknowledged. A lot of people speed up and down the road and you can't see that a business is there because it's so much speed and racing. So I think it's an awesome opportunity and I think it will be good and revitalizing the neighborhood. Thank you. Next is Charlie from Dollar Days.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charlie Suleiman. I own a business down the street, Dollar Days Plus, on Gratiot and Maple Ridge. I've been here in business 25 years. Recently, thanks to Mayor Duggan, we've been seeing a lot of improvements as far as paving roads in the neighborhood, fixing vacant houses, making them available for rent or rent to own. We are very excited about this fund coming to the city of Detroit to slow down traffic on Gratiot. I'm sure any investments will reflect very positively on the neighborhoods, people moving in, and on businesses coming to the neighborhood, making it safer and making it better for everybody to invest and move forward. Thanks again for the opportunity. It's a great pleasure to be here. And thanks for the mayor again for all the good things that he's been doing. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marcus Hardy, and I'm one of the owners at Andrews and Hardy Funeral Home. We have been a small business here in the community for over 30 plus years. And to have this grant to make our street safer, Gratiot safer, is such a huge improvement that we're looking toward. Because we have a lot of families that come, grieving families, and to make it safer will make us feel more comfortable, allowing more people to come and have a better sense of safety when they walk into our building and walk out of our building. And also thank you to Quincy Jones. He has been a huge part of keeping us involved. He is the executive director of the Osborne Neighborhood Alliance, and he has done such a huge improvements and things like that in the neighborhood. So adding this on top of that will have the East Side in a better place. And thank you all for having me, and thank you.
All right. Well, there are a lot of good things coming to Gratiot in the next few years. We're thrilled to have such great partners, whether it's at the state or our small business owners along the community, that this project will directly benefit. Special thanks to the 9th Precinct from DPD for being here, for the Matrix Center for hosting us, and for people coming out today to join us for this important announcement. So we'll take any questions that folks have about the project, either for me or anyone else that's up here. Sure. So we have not started the actual design, but the idea is that we're going to be adding more crossing points on Gratiot. So we potentially will have more signals and more safe place to cross. So if you're getting off the bus and you're mid-block, right now, for you to really feel safe, you potentially have to walk as long as a quarter or a half mile to get to the next signal to be able to cross a designated crosswalk. So one of the things we're looking to do is to add additional crossing points along the corridor where we have businesses that people are trying to get to, where we have bus stops, or we have a history of pedestrians or cyclists being hit. The other thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding more technology along the corridor. What that means is we're going to be upgrading the signal infrastructure, adding pedestrian countdown signals, and speed feedback signs. So, if the speed limit's 35 and you're going 50, it'll say that you're going 50, so you know that you need to slow down. So we're going to be doing things like that. We have a lot more technical things we still have to work through if we're going to do things like bump outs or center line hardening. But right now that's generally the medium level detail of what people will see. But the idea is that you should feel safe parking on the corridor, not having to worry about your car getting hit, being able to cross at safer points and more points, and those types of improvements.
Question. Will you guys be adding cameras for speeders? Because I think, in my opinion, when it hits the pocket, if somebody's speeding and if there is cameras catching these plates and it hits their pockets, I'm sure people will definitely take notice, and on the long run, I think everybody will realize that this is the speed limit, and everybody will go accordingly.
Yeah, so for those who didn't hear the question is, are we going to add speed cameras as part of this? It's a really interesting idea, and around the country it is something that has showed down to slow down speeds. Unfortunately, it's not something that the city can do unilaterally. It's something that right now is not permitted by state law. So as part of this project, we will not be adding speed cameras, but we are going to be making other technology improvements that allows DPD to be able to do their job more effectively. Any other questions that folks have? So anecdotally, we have not done an actual speed study. That's something that we're going to look at as part of this project. But right now, anecdotally, we think that the average is pretty close to 55, 60. It really depends on the time of day. So during peak hour traffic, when you have a lot of cars, it gets a little bit closer to 35, 40. But you come out here 2 in the afternoon or 9 o'clock at night, people are doing 60 miles an hour all day. Yeah, that's a great question. So as part of this project for the Safe Streets portion of it, we're going to be working with DDOT and SMART to make improvements to the existing bus stops. So those could include things like boarding islands and shelters. The idea of doing something bigger with mass transit, whether it's like a dedicated transit lane or additional service, is something that might come out of the Pell study that Matt referenced. So if we're thinking beyond 5 years, those are the types of things we are thinking about. But this project is going to be exclusively focused on safety for what we have out here today. So that's something we can definitely look at, either part of this project or adjacent to it. So if there are specific areas of concern, whether it's for traffic safety or just, violence in general, it's something we could happy to talk about with DPD. Okay, well, if that's all the questions, thank you everyone so much for being here. Thank you to our partners for participating and showing up today and just being great partners throughout this and other projects. And if other people have questions after this, we'll be happy to stick around and chat. But thank you so much for being here.